Hey guys, this is Todd from Tlepsh again. And I want to do a response video about yesterday's IRs Suck 1. Yeah? I got a couple of comments. Just let's look at them really quickly. Basically, all of them are talking about how the IR is not exactly the same as the cab, which defeats the purpose or the argument that IRs suck. And I get it. However, that wasn't my main point, but I get it. All right, I get your point. And so what I did is I made a new session with a closer IR to the cab. Let's just give it a listen really quickly here. You'll get the session as well with the IR, and then we'll go on other explanations. So let's go. Okay, so let's give it a listen really quickly here. So this is the head with the IR, right? A new one I made, and this is the real thing, right? Let's really quickly here. I think there's some level differences, but very similar to one another. We'll get back to this and try to match them later. I just want to describe first the purpose of the first video. So the first video, guys, wasn't about matching IRs or getting the best IR. Why wasn't it about getting the best IR? Well, I don't have the best cab. Where I live, if I get a Mesa Boogie or anything that's 4x12, it's going to be at least $3,000 to $5,000. It is much more expensive than to wherever you're from. If you're from Europe or America, yeah, it's not the same thing. I have a 2x12 open back. I make the best out of it. So is it going to be the best IR? No, it's not. It can't be the best IR. It is actually to my advantage that IRs are awesome. I want them to be good, but they're not. I mean, they are. Don't get me wrong. Don't attack me right now, but it's... they're not the real thing, okay? They're just not. I mean, that's why all the producers that produce big time bands that we love don't use IRs all the time. Now, you could get a good producer, and if he or she wants to make a good track out of IRs, they will. I'm pretty sure if you get a very good producer who knows what they're doing, they will find a way around it, for sure. But I think we could all agree that, you know, professionally, real cabs are always in use. So my first argument, or the argument was, they're not the same. That was the other problem, right? People commenting on it, that it doesn't sound the same, so it defeats the purpose. I believe today's sounds more alike, not a mirror. Some people said that in a blind test, you won't be able to differentiate. I haven't seen such videos yet, so please do share them. If they're a complete mirror, please do show them. I think there's a lot of trickery I could do on, with my videos. Okay, I don't know what videos you're talking about. I'm pretty sure they've done a better job than me, but it really has to do with your equipment. Okay, so let's start with that. Why they're not a mirror. Okay, so the PV. There we go. So this is the head I'm using, right? Way better than the cab I'm using, but that's all I could get. So this head, in the back of it, looks like this. I think this is the new one, but it's pretty much the same thing. So in order for me to bypass all the channels and just stick to the power amp section so that I'm powering the cab, I need to go from effects return. If a signal goes there, there is no volume knob after this point. It goes here, it goes through the power amp section, which is the power tubes, and then it's going to the cab. There's no control. And if I wanted to correctly use it, that's how I would use it. So effects return, output to the cab and capture it. However, it's so loud that my puny cab will not handle it. It's a 2x12. Now, in order to control it a little bit, I need the rock crusher. I don't know if you know it. This is a load box and it helps me out a lot. And it will control the volume, as you can see, in multiple ways. This is for the line out. This is for the cab, and also this is for the cab, okay? So there's a variable one for the studio, the rest are just hard. It's a reactive load box. It is great, it does the job well. I've been using it forever. In fact, I don't think I can even use my setup without this. Honestly, it is It is not usable without it. In fact, before I got this, I kind of hated the whole setup. I did not want to use it. It sucked. It was unapproachable, too loud. Also, you have a 120 watt amp and my cab is 120 watts. So usually it's advisable to have more headroom. The cab should be double the size, okay? The cab should be double the rating. So you have your orange 2x12 open back. Yeah, so it's not gonna be the best IR because it's not the best cab. I make the best out of it, don't get me wrong. I think I get good results out of what I have. This isn't exactly a Mesa Boogie 4x12 or an Engel or whatever fancy boutique cabs there are out there. This isn't it. And it would be considered a mismatch between the PV655. It's mismatched. It's not correctly matched. So I need to have the Rock Crusher, which will always have a and it also has character. It does have a lot of character. In my advantage, or my point of view, this is an advantage because this does not sound the best. It's just not what I'm looking for. It does give a character. I don't know if you remember this, but you guys familiar with this? BBE. They used to put them between the heads and the cabs. Guitarpedal Corpse. I think I've seen a video with them. No. I'm wasting time here. They use it. People have used it before. Okay? They basically put it between the cab and the head. Right? So what it does is that it adds character. So it gives more subharmonic frequencies and harmonic frequencies. So there is character, and that's why the IR will always sound more dead than the cab, or not dead, just kind of like as if it was low passed, right? It looks like it's low passed. So yeah, that is the main reason. So it's due to this. That's the culprit. Okay, I cannot operate without it. In fact, I tried right now to remove it, and it was unapproachable, man. So back here. In order for me to have the head operate, because I'm taking line out, okay? So from here, this does have a line out in the back. There you go. See this one? I believe it's pre-character. The EQ section and the harmonic section is not after this. It's after this. It's not before this. So when I'm taking this signal, this is going before any character is happening here. Before the whole thing is activated. This is a very simple line out. So it's always going to sound differently. Now, to make it closer with the Libra, if you increase the resonance or EQ it a little bit, you will get a similar result. Other than that, it can't be identical. So again, I haven't seen that identical video, that someone in the comment section mentioned that, you could, there are people who do it 100% identical. I don't know, man. It's never going to be identical. And if there is, please do share. There must be really good equipment. I wish I had a reamp box that will send directly to my cab. If that exists, that would be the solution. But in my case, it has to go through the power amp, which has to go through the Rivera, which will add character, whether I like it or not. It's just how it is, right? There's no other way about it. So in my current setup, this is the best way. Someone mentioned there's ways of capturing IRs. Yeah, I've tried them. I know them all. Or I know some, I guess. Maybe there's a lot. But most of them I know. This is the best I got for my setup. Let's one more time. Interested to hear it. Okay, so 6505 is just the head with the line out. Keep in mind, the line out does not have the character that's going to the cab. As I explained before, it can't. That's that piece of equipment. That's how it works. However, if I increase it by 1.4 dBs, put the resonance 100%, and high pass at 76, right now to my ears, this sounds as close as possible. Let's give it a listen. There you go. I mean, I would say that's as close as I possibly can get. Is it a mirror? Well, no. Let's phase it. It should null out completely if it's a mirror. Okay, so it's not a mirror, but it's to my ears as close as possible. Let's make, you know what? I want to try something here. I'm gonna let's just commit this. Okay. All right. So let us just make sure they're as identical as possible. Okay. Yeah, so it's 16.6 peaks. It is a low signal. Again, the purpose is not to get the best sound. I explained it. I'm talking about the objective difference. I am the same room as a cab. I just wanted to make them similar for this video as a response, because a lot of you use that on the basis that no, IRs are exactly the same as cabs, where my first objective was that it's not. So anyways, we're trying to make them the same right now. All right, so 16.6 peak, 29.94. All right, so they're close enough. Let's make sure they're in phase, I guess. Okay. Yep. Align them. Okay. Now I'm gonna face flip one of them. I don't think it's gonna work. I'm just trying here, and we should have a nulled out signal if they're identical. Again, they can't. Guys, that's the best I could give you right now. Again, we're talking about the line out going to the Libra, all right? The line out going to the Libra impulse loader. It does not include the character that's being sent to the cab. There's a whole different area of the load box that is doing something else, okay? Again, that is my specific equipment, but with what we have right now, this is quite close, man. I could say it is a mirror. Yeah. It's not bad. Anyways, so again, the point of the video was that impulse responses are static, all right? They don't move. So whenever you give them, let's just imagine I'm not giving them a my guitar tone. Imagine I'm not playing, guitar at all. I'm just giving them pure tones, okay? The low C, I'm a C standard guitar. It's like 64 hertz, okay? So if it was a cab, I'm going to give it that tone, just 64. Bap, 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 just a few bursts. With my cab, every time it takes it, it's going to react differently. Now I'm going to give it the 64 hertz and like the 125. The cab's going to take them both, and it's going to even react even more differently. In fact, it might give other frequencies, like in between them, another distortion, and it keeps on moving. It's very dynamic, and it responds. It has a lot to do with its design, with the wood structure, with the kind of cones that are in it, how it's wired, where it's located in a room. Okay, so a lot of non-linearities. It is alive. It's just ripping through the frequencies, just responding differently. Now, my description with the IR, everything I said, it doesn't do that. You give it the 64 hertz, it'll give it back to you exactly as you gave it. Same length, same height, same everything. You give it 64 and 125, it's going to give you 64 and 125. It's not going to react differently. It's going to give you the same responses all the time. Some might see this as an advantage. Let me just clarify. Some might see this as an advantage, right? The conveniences of IRs are endless. You don't have to haul around a cab. I get it. The live, it's great. But as someone who really needs an IR, because again, I don't have the cab I want, and I'm guessing some of you also have this problem, and who is very interested in professional audio recording, IRs haven't done it yet, okay? Professional producers weren't aren't not using them. I know some of them will use them and make the best out of it and will probably make it sound amazing. Okay? I agree. That's how they can. A professional can do that. Yes. It's just my personal preference that most of the bands I listen to and the producers I listen to, and just so happens that my favorite records are with real cabs. Okay? I guess to end this argument, I would rather have an IR from a very good setup than a subpar setup with a real cab. Okay? So that's true. However, even with my 2x12, I kind of still prefer playing through it, and I know it's not the best. Anyways, I hope this clarifies everything, and yeah, looking forward to your comments. Please like and subscribe. Check out the Bandcamp and all that good stuff. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one.